Welcome to Soulful Aura. You're about to unlock a spiritual key that will help you understand what makes this select group of chosen individuals so unique and how to master these incredible spiritual powers. I highly recommend watching until the end. You won't want to miss it. The journey into solitude is akin to stepping into a mirror that reflects not just the physical, but the deepest layers of the soul. When the distractions of everyday life fade away, what remains is the raw truth of one's inner self. The chosen ones embrace this opportunity, diving deep into introspection and self-reflection. They confront their fears, desires, and hidden motives. In this sacred silence, they come face to face with their authentic selves. For most people, solitude can be unsettling, even terrifying. The fear of being alone is often a fear of confronting oneself. However, the chosen ones have a different experience. They perceive solitude as a path to self-mastery. Historical figures such as Leonardo da Vinci, who spent countless hours in isolation to study the world and himself, or the mystic Saint John of the Cross, who wrote about the dark night of the soul, exemplify how solitude can lead to profound self-awareness. The chosen ones realize that in the silence, they can unravel the layers of their consciousness, discovering the truths that evade the ordinary mind. This heightened self-awareness allows them to navigate life with a deeper understanding of their purpose and inner potential. It is a continuous process of spiritual refinement, akin to polishing a diamond to reveal its brilliance. In solitude, the chosen ones do not just exist, they evolve. The journey into solitude is a venture beyond the familiar. It is not merely about removing oneself from the noise of daily life, but about entering a realm where silence speaks louder than words, where stillness becomes an echo of the soul's deepest secrets. For the chosen ones, the silence is not empty, it is full, pregnant with meaning and revelations. It is within this sacred space that they confront their inner worlds, peeling back the layers of their being to reveal truths that elude the superficial gaze. In this state of introspection, the chosen ones engage in a dialogue with themselves that is as ancient as humanity itself. The questions that arise are not the mundane queries of the everyday, but the timeless inquiries that have driven seekers for millennia. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my true nature? Each question is a step into the labyrinth of the soul, where every turn and twist leads them deeper into the understanding of their authentic selves. For the majority, such depth is a chasm too vast, a darkness too thick to traverse. There is a terror in the thought of uncovering parts of oneself that are unknown, of facing the shadows that lurk just beyond the periphery of consciousness. Solitude forces one to encounter these shadows. But for the chosen ones, this confrontation is not to be feared. It is embraced as a necessary rite of passage, a sacred initiation into a deeper realm of existence. They know that it is only by venturing into the darkness that one can emerge into the light with greater clarity and strength. Historical accounts are replete with figures who found their greatness through solitude. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche spoke of the abyss that gazes back, yet he also acknowledged that those who are willing to face the abyss are the ones who transcend it. It is a profound truth that the chosen ones understand. To evolve, one must first be willing to see oneself in totality, the light and the dark, the noble and the flawed. In the quietude of solitude, they gain this holistic vision. The process is one of spiritual alchemy. As the chosen ones strip away the superficial layers that society imposes, titles, roles, expectations, they begin to access a raw state of being. It is akin to the ancient practice of gold purification, where the dross is burned away to reveal the precious metal beneath. Each revelation, no matter how uncomfortable or awe-inspiring, is a step towards inner purification. The fears that once loomed large are seen for what they are: illusions that lose their power in the face of conscious awareness. Solitude becomes the crucible of transformation. In this sacred forge, the chosen ones experience a metamorphosis that defies conventional understanding. The ordinary mind may see solitude as emptiness or boredom, but for the chosen ones, it is an active and dynamic state. They are not passive recipients of insight. They are explorers, actively seeking the hidden dimensions of their being. Each moment in solitude becomes a deliberate act of creation, where the self is continually refined and shaped into a more authentic expression. The spiritual traditions of the world have long recognized the transformative power of solitude. From the hermits of the desert who sought divine communion in isolation to the Zen monks who meditate for years to achieve satori, the essence remains the same. Solitude is a doorway to the divine. The chosen ones walk through this doorway with the understanding that the divine is not merely a distant external force, but is also found within. In solitude, they come to know the sacred not as something separate from themselves, but as the very essence of their being. This realization ushers in a profound shift in perspective. Where once there was a fragmented view of the self divided between the demands of the outer world and the longings of the inner world, there now emerges a sense of wholeness. The chosen ones come to understand that solitude does not isolate them from the world, but reconnects them to it in a deeper, more meaningful way. The superficial layers of identity fall away, leaving a pure awareness that is at once personal and universal. In the stillness, the chosen ones experience a sharpening of their senses. Without the distractions of the external world, their perception becomes more acute. They notice the subtle rhythms of life, the way their breath rises and falls like waves upon the shore, the quiet beat of their heart as it keeps time with the pulse of the universe. This heightened awareness extends beyond the physical. They begin to perceive the movements of their own thoughts and emotions as though watching the currents of a deep river. They see patterns, connections, and underlying truths that remain hidden to the hurried and distracted. Through solitude, the chosen ones cultivate a relationship with time that is different from the norm. While most are enslaved by the ticking of the clock, the chosen ones learn to move with the natural flow of time. In solitude, moments expand, allowing for a depth of thought and reflection that compresses years of experience into what seems like hours. This timelessness grants them an inner wisdom that belies their age and experience, making them seem as though they have lived many lives in 1. The process of self-exploration is not without its challenges. The chosen ones must confront not only the bright aspirations of the soul, but also the dark inclinations of the psyche. In the stillness, buried emotions may surface: anger, regret, shame, and sorrow, demanding to be acknowledged. The chosen ones face these emotions not with judgment but with acceptance. They understand that every emotion, no matter how painful, carries a message. By listening to these messages, they transmute their suffering into understanding, and understanding into wisdom. It is within this crucible of solitude that the chosen ones find their greatest revelations. The soul's truths are not shouted but whispered. They come as faint echoes from the depths of consciousness. It requires a patient ear and an open heart to hear them. The chosen ones learn to trust this inner voice, recognizing it as the guiding light that illuminates the path ahead. In the stillness, they encounter moments of epiphany, flashes of insight that seem to come from a realm beyond ordinary understanding. It is as though the universe itself speaks to them, unveiling secrets that are hidden from the uninitiated. For the chosen ones, these revelations are not merely intellectual, but experiential. They embody these truths, allowing them to shape the very fabric of their being. They recognize that self-awareness is not a destination, but a journey, one that requires continuous exploration and refinement. In solitude, they evolve, not by adding more to themselves, but by shedding the layers that conceal their true nature. The process is akin to the sculptor chipping away at a block of marble to reveal the statue within. The masterpiece is not created. It is uncovered. As the chosen ones emerge from their solitary experiences, they carry with them a depth of understanding that is rare in the modern world. They possess an inner stillness that remains unshaken by the chaos of everyday life. The world may continue to spin with its noise and distractions, but the chosen ones navigate it with a quiet confidence, grounded in the truths they have discovered in solitude. Their heightened self-awareness becomes the foundation upon which they build their lives, guiding their actions, decisions, and relationships. The evolution that occurs in solitude is not merely a personal transformation. It has a ripple effect that extends outward. The chosen ones, having come to know themselves deeply, are better equipped to understand and empathize with others. Their authenticity shines through in their interactions, inspiring those around them to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery. The chosen ones do not seek to impose their path on others, for they know that the path to self-awareness is a deeply personal one. Instead, they become living examples of the power and beauty of a life lived in alignment with one's true self. Besides, the journey into solitude is a journey back to the center of one's being. It is a path that requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to embrace both light and shadow. The chosen ones understand that self-awareness is not about achieving perfection, but about embracing wholeness. It is in accepting the totality of who they are, their strengths and weaknesses, their triumphs and failures, that they find true liberation. In solitude, they come to know the one truth that unites all spiritual seekers, that to know oneself is to know the divine, and in knowing the divine, one comes to know the true nature of all things. The chosen ones emerge from their solitary sojourns not as individuals disconnected from the world, but as beings deeply connected to the very essence of life. They return with a gift and understanding that can only be attained through the sacred silence. In a world that often fears solitude, they demonstrate that it is not something to escape, but something to embrace, for it is in solitude that the deepest and most profound transformations occur. When the noise of the world quiets, the whispers of the spirit grow louder. The chosen ones often speak of a sense of guidance that emerges in their solitary moments of voice, not of the mind, but of the soul. It is this deep intuition that distinguishes them, making their decisions appear almost prophetic. They know without knowing, see without seeing. This intuitive insight becomes a powerful tool that they use to navigate the complexities of life. Solitude acts as a tuning fork for intuition. Away from the opinions of others and the chaos of the external world, the inner voice becomes clearer, more defined. Ancient spiritual traditions have long understood this phenomenon. For instance, the shamans of Siberia and Native American spiritual leaders would often go on vision quests, isolating themselves from their tribes to receive messages from the spirit world. The chosen ones today still practice this form of internal attunement, allowing them to tap into an almost otherworldly source of wisdom. Intuition for them is not an abstract concept. It is a real, practical guide that influences their choices and shapes their destinies. In moments of uncertainty, the chosen ones retreat into solitude, where the answers seem to rise naturally from within. This inner guidance sets them apart, providing a level of clarity and insight that seems elusive to most. The whispers of the spirit are not chaotic or incoherent. They are profound, subtle messages that emerge from the depths of the soul, offering insights that go beyond logic and reason. For the chosen ones, intuition is more than just a fleeting feeling or a hunch. It is a sacred compass that directs them toward their true path. In solitude, when the distractions of everyday life fall away, the voice of intuition is like a clear bell ringing out across a still valley, resonating with a deep sense of truth. It is here, in the quiet moments, that the chosen ones experience what can only be described as an internal awakening. The intuitive insights they gain often feel like revelations that transcend ordinary knowledge. It is as if the veil between the seen and unseen is lifted, allowing them to glimpse realities that most people never perceive. This state of heightened awareness brings them closer to a kind of spiritual knowing and understanding that doesn't come from analysis or study, but from a deeper, more intrinsic place. It is this inner knowing that sets the chosen ones apart, making their decisions appear almost prophetic. They navigate life with a clarity that seems otherworldly, yet it is firmly grounded in the depths of their own being. Solitude, then, becomes an essential aspect of their spiritual practice. In the absence of external stimuli, the chosen ones are able to attune themselves to the subtle energies that surround them. It is as though they become sensitive instruments, finely tuned to the vibrations of the universe. This state of attunement allows them to discern the faintest whispers of intuition, guiding them in ways that often defy conventional understanding. The inner voice becomes a powerful tool, providing not only direction but also an understanding of the underlying forces at play in any given situation. Ancient cultures have long recognized the importance of solitude in cultivating this kind of deep intuition. The shamanic traditions of the Americas, the hermits of ancient Greece, and the yogis of India all emphasize the need for withdrawal from the world in order to access higher wisdom. These practices involve going beyond the limitations of the conscious mind and tapping into a deeper level of awareness. The chosen ones follow in these footsteps, recognizing that the answers they seek are not found in the noise of society, but in the quiet recesses of their own souls. In this state of inner silence, they come to understand that intuition is not merely an individual experience, but a connection to a greater intelligence. The chosen ones perceive themselves as conduits through which the wisdom of the universe flows. This wisdom is not linear or structured, but comes in flashes of insight, sudden realizations, and a sense of knowing that cannot be easily explained. It is akin to receiving a transmission from a higher source, something that transcends personal experience and touches upon the collective consciousness. When the chosen ones receive these intuitive messages, they do not dismiss them as mere thoughts or feelings. Instead, they honor them as sacred guidance. This reverence for intuition is what allows them to act upon their insights with confidence. They do not require external validation for what they know to be true, because the inner voice carries an authority that surpasses any external source. The chosen ones understand that to doubt their intuition is to doubt the very essence of their being, for intuition is the language of the soul. The process of cultivating intuition is, for the chosen ones, a journey of deep trust and surrender. They do not attempt to force answers or seek certainty through rational means. Instead, they allow themselves to remain open and receptive, understanding that the truth will emerge in its own time. In this way, solitude is not just a state of being alone, but a state of active listening, a form of communion with the divine. It is through this practice that the chosen ones develop a sense of inner clarity that guides them through the complexities of life. This clarity is not always immediate. There are times when the path is not obvious, when the whispers are faint, and doubt tries to creep in. Yet, even in these moments, the chosen ones trust in the process. They know that intuition often speaks in symbols, dreams, and subtle impressions. What may seem like an insignificant thought or feeling can hold profound meaning if one is willing to look deeper. It is through this willingness to explore the depths of their own consciousness that the chosen ones unlock the secrets hidden within. The solitary path also requires courage, for there is a certain vulnerability in listening to the inner voice. To follow one's intuition often means going against the grain, choosing a path that others may not understand. The chosen ones must be willing to stand alone, to follow their own sense of guidance, even when it leads them away from the familiar. This courage to act on intuition, even in the face of uncertainty, is what ultimately sets them apart. It is a form of spiritual bravery, recognition that the voice of the soul is worth heeding above all else. Over time, this practice of deep listening transforms the chosen ones. The more they trust and act on their intuition, the stronger and more reliable it becomes. What once seemed like faint whispers become clear directives. The chosen ones find that their intuition begins to anticipate challenges and opportunities before they manifest, allowing them to respond with a grace and wisdom that others find astonishing. This ability to know without knowing becomes a natural part of their existence, and it is not uncommon for them to experience synchronicities that confirm their inner guidance. It is as if the universe itself conspires to support them, aligning events and circumstances in their favor. The path of intuition is not limited to making decisions or solving problems. It extends to all aspects of life. The chosen ones find that their relationships, creative endeavors, and even their sense of purpose are enriched by this deep connection to their inner voice. They perceive the world not as a chaotic place, but as a dynamic field of energy, where everything is interconnected. This expanded awareness allows them to see beyond the surface of things, to perceive the underlying patterns that govern the flow of life. In this way, intuition becomes not just a tool, but a way of being, a continuous state of communion with the sacred. In moments of profound intuition, the chosen ones experience a unity with all that is. The boundaries between self and other dissolve, and there is a sense of oneness with the universe. It is as though they are tapping into the very source of creation, drawing from a wellspring of infinite wisdom. These experiences are often accompanied by feelings of peace, joy, and a deep sense of belonging. The chosen ones realize that they are not separate from the world, but are an integral part of its unfolding. This deep intuition is also a form of inner protection. It guides the chosen ones away from harmful situations and toward opportunities that align with their higher purpose. It is not merely a passive sense of knowing, but an active force that shapes their lives. The chosen ones find themselves in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, and making decisions that lead to outcomes that serve not only their own growth, but the growth of those around them. Intuition, in this sense, becomes a sacred partnership with the divine, a co-creative process that brings their highest aspirations into reality. As the chosen ones continue to cultivate their intuition, they find that it extends beyond themselves. They become attuned to the needs and energies of others, often sensing what is left unsaid or recognizing the hidden emotions in those they encounter. This empathetic intuition allows them to offer guidance and support to others in a way that is deeply meaningful. They become natural healers, teachers, and guides, not because they impose their insights on others, but because they share from a place of authentic knowing. In this perspective, the journey into intuition is a journey into the heart of the sacred. It is a path that requires one to step away from the noise of the world and enter the quiet sanctuary of the soul. The chosen ones understand that in this sanctuary, the voice that speaks is not merely their own, but is the voice of the divine echoing through them. It is here that they find the answers. They seek the guidance they need, and the wisdom to walk their unique path. In solitude, the chosen ones discover that intuition is not an extraordinary gift bestowed upon a few, but a natural ability that lies dormant within all. It is a call to return to one's essence, to trust in the mystery of life, and to embrace the inner knowing that is always present, waiting to be heard. Through the cultivation of intuition, the chosen ones embody the profound truth that the sacred is not found in some distant realm, but is ever present within the silent chambers of the heart. The third superpower gained from solitude is a profound mental resilience and emotional strength. For the chosen ones, solitude is not merely an escape. It is a kind of spiritual alchemy, where the raw materials of fear, anxiety, and doubt are transformed into courage, calm, and clarity. In this sacred space, they confront their deepest insecurities and emerge stronger. Think of solitude as a forge, where the mind is tempered and hardened. While most people seek to avoid difficult emotions, the chosen ones lean into them, exploring the depths of their pain, suffering, and joys. This confrontation with the self cultivates an unshakable inner strength. The solitude becomes a teacher, revealing that true power lies not in the avoidance of discomfort, but in its embrace. Historically, we see this alchemy at work in figures such as Mahatma Gandhi, who would retreat to periods of silence for days to strengthen his resolve during India's struggle for independence. The chosen ones share a similar practice, often spending extended periods in solitude to recharge and solidify their mental and emotional resilience. In solitude, the chosen ones discover that facing their inner demons and embracing discomfort is a process of self-transformation. Each moment spent in the crucible of solitude shapes them, refining their spirit and fortifying their will. This mental resilience becomes more than just an ability to cope with adversity. It evolves into a profound mastery over the mind and emotions. It is through this transformative experience that the chosen ones cultivate a level of emotional strength that seems almost unbreakable, making them capable of withstanding the storms of life without being shaken. This resilience is not born from mere endurance. It comes from a deep acceptance of all aspects of the human experience. The chosen ones understand that suffering is an integral part of growth, a necessary catalyst that fuels the evolution of the soul. Rather than suppressing or denying their feelings, they allow themselves to fully experience and explore them. It is in this exploration that they uncover hidden reservoirs of strength and find meaning even in the darkest moments. The chosen ones perceive pain as a teacher, a guide that leads them to a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. Through solitude, they learn to detach from the external chaos and to find stability within. When the chosen ones are faced with challenges, they draw upon the inner calm cultivated during their time alone. They have learned to still the turbulent waters of the mind, enabling them to remain composed and centered even in the face of intense pressure. This mental discipline allows them to act with clarity and decisiveness, while others may falter or be overwhelmed by emotion. It is this ability to maintain equilibrium, to stay anchored in the eye of the storm that sets them apart. Consider the example of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who taught that the key to inner peace lies not in the avoidance of hardship but in one's response to it. The chosen ones practice a similar philosophy, embracing solitude as a way to train their minds to remain unperturbed by life's inevitable difficulties. Their solitude is a form of mental conditioning, a preparation for the trials that lie ahead. In solitude, they face their fears head-on, confronting the anxieties and doubts that others may try to escape. This confrontation is not easy, but it is essential for building true resilience. The chosen ones also understand that resilience is not simply about enduring hardship but about thriving despite it. Solitude teaches them to find joy even in moments of sorrow, to discover light in the darkness. It is not about denying the existence of pain, but about transcending it. In this way, solitude becomes a source of empowerment, a space where they can tap into their inner strength and emerge revitalized. They realize that while they cannot always control external events, they can control their inner response. This awareness gives them a sense of freedom and autonomy that others may never experience. The resilience gained from solitude extends beyond the mental realm. It also strengthens the heart. The chosen ones develop a profound emotional intelligence, an ability to navigate their feelings with grace and insight. In solitude, they learn to listen to their emotions without being overwhelmed by them. They recognize that emotions are like waves, they rise and fall, but they do not define the ocean. By observing their feelings without judgment, the chosen ones cultivate a deeper understanding of their emotional landscape, allowing them to respond to life's challenges with compassion and wisdom. This emotional strength is further enhanced by the ability to self-soothe. The chosen ones learn to comfort and heal themselves in times of distress, finding solace not in external sources, but within their own hearts. This self-reliance is a powerful form of resilience, for it means they are not dependent on others for their sense of well-being. They know how to nurture themselves through difficult times, drawing upon the peace and clarity they have cultivated in solitude. This ability to self-heal is a profound gift, enabling them to recover from setbacks more quickly and to approach life with a renewed sense of purpose. The resilience that emerges from solitude also fosters a sense of fearlessness. The chosen ones are not afraid to walk alone, to follow paths that others may not understand. They do not seek approval or validation from the world because they have already found it within themselves. This inner confidence allows them to take risks, to pursue their dreams without being hindered by the fear of failure. The solitude has taught them that even in the absence of success, there is value in the journey itself. The chosen ones are willing to embrace uncertainty because they have learned that growth lies beyond the comfort zone. Historical figures who have demonstrated this kind of resilience, such as Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years of imprisonment yet emerged with his spirit unbroken, embody the strength that solitude can cultivate. The chosen ones share this ability to endure prolonged periods of isolation, drawing strength from within and using that strength to transform their circumstances. They see solitude not as a punishment but as an opportunity to strengthen their resolve and to refine their character. In this way, they become unshakable pillars of resilience, able to inspire others through their example. Another aspect of the mental and emotional resilience gained from solitude is the ability to find meaning in suffering. The chosen ones understand that adversity is not without purpose. It is a catalyst for growth and a means of refining the soul. This perspective allows them to face challenges with a sense of purpose, transforming what would be a debilitating experience for others into an opportunity for self-development. In solitude, they contemplate the deeper significance of their struggles, finding lessons and insights that help them to navigate the complexities of life. This ability to find meaning in adversity is a form of resilience that few possess. In solitude, the chosen ones also gain clarity of vision. When the distractions of the world are stripped away, they are able to see life with greater focus and precision. This clarity allows them to set goals with unwavering determination, to pursue their dreams without being sidetracked by the opinions of others. They know what they want, and they are willing to make the necessary sacrifices to achieve it. The solitude sharpens their sense of purpose, helping them to prioritize what truly matters. In this state of clarity, the chosen ones are able to channel their energy toward meaningful pursuits, creating a life of purpose and fulfillment. Furthermore, the solitude provides them with the space to reflect on their past experiences, to understand the patterns and cycles that have shaped their lives. This reflection deepens their self-awareness, allowing them to break free from limiting beliefs and behaviors that may have held them back. The chosen ones use solitude as a time for personal inventory, assessing their strengths and weaknesses with honesty and humility. This self-reflection is not about self-criticism but about self-improvement. It is through this process that they are able to continually evolve, to become the best version of themselves. In this state of introspection, the chosen ones also discover the power of self-forgiveness. They learn to release the burdens of guilt and shame that may have accumulated over the years. By confronting their mistakes and accepting their imperfections, they free themselves from the past and open the door to a brighter future. This ability to forgive oneself is a form of emotional resilience that many struggle to achieve, but for the chosen ones, it is an essential part of their spiritual growth. They understand that true resilience is not about being unscathed by life, but about rising stronger from each fall. The emotional and mental resilience gained from solitude extends to their interactions with others as well. The chosen ones are not easily swayed by the opinions or criticisms of those around them. They have developed a strong sense of self, a core of inner strength that remains unshaken by external judgment. This resilience allows them to maintain healthy boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to stand firm in their beliefs. They are not afraid to walk their own path, even if it means walking alone. This independence is not a sign of isolation but of true freedom, a freedom that comes from knowing oneself deeply. Moreover, the chosen ones emerge from their solitude as individuals who possess a rare combination of inner strength, emotional depth, and mental clarity. They are not invincible, but they are resilient, able to withstand life's trials with a grace that inspires others. Their solitude has not made them hard or cold. Rather, it has refined them, allowing them to embrace life with a greater sense of compassion and understanding. The chosen ones recognize that the journey into solitude is not just a path to resilience, but a path to wholeness, a way to reclaim the fullness of their humanity. In addition, the resilience gained from solitude is a testament to the transformative power of embracing one's inner world. The chosen ones have learned that the true measure of strength is not found in the ability to avoid suffering, but in the courage to face it, to be transformed by it, and to emerge with a deeper appreciation for the beauty and fragility of life. Through their time in solitude, they have discovered that resilience is not merely about enduring hardships, but about finding the strength to rise again and again, no matter how many times they may fall. It is this unyielding spirit that truly sets them apart. The fourth superpower unlocked by solitude is the gift of creativity. In the stillness, where the outside world falls away, the mind is free to roam the vast landscape of imagination. For the chosen ones, solitude acts as a muse, inspiring innovative thoughts and original ideas. It is during these solitary moments that many great works of art, literature, and scientific breakthroughs have emerged. The solitude of a writer in a quiet room, a painter in an empty studio, or a scientist lost in thought is not an absence of activity. It is the crucible where the seeds of creativity are sown. When the mind is not preoccupied with social validation or the opinions of others, it is free to take risks, explore new possibilities, and entertain radical ideas. This form of thinking often results in creations that are ahead of their time. Famous inventors like Nikola Tesla, who would isolate himself to focus on his inventions, or composers like Ludwig van Beethoven, who found inspiration in solitude, serve as testimonies to this truth. The chosen ones continue this tradition, not merely seeking solitude as a means of rest, but as a wellspring of creative potential. Their ideas often carry a sense of depth and originality that sets them apart from the majority. The final and most profound superpower gained from solitude is spiritual enlightenment. In the sacred silence, chosen ones connect with something greater than themselves. It is as if the barriers between the material and spiritual worlds dissolve, allowing them to perceive reality in its truest form. solitude becomes a gateway to higher consciousness. Throughout history, spiritual traditions have recognized the power of solitude in achieving enlightenment, from the desert fathers of early Christianity, who sought isolation to deepen their connection with God, to Buddhist monks meditating in the Himalayas. The theme is consistent. True spiritual insight often requires withdrawing from the distractions of the world. The chosen ones understand that in solitude, they can access a state of being that transcends ordinary perception. In these moments of deep meditation, prayer, or reflection, they experience a unity with the divine, an expanded awareness that brings profound peace and understanding. This spiritual enlightenment is not merely a mental state. It is a transformation of the entire